feel like we were just doing this.
Right? It's been a short time, it feels like.
Yeah, but then when you look back at it and you realize that Black Panther came out this year, it kind of feels like a long year.
It does.
Well, it's time for us to do our top 10 favorite and least favorite movies of the year again. Just before you watch this video, I just want you to know that this list is completely subjective. These are facts, not our opinions. If you think that we're wrong anywhere in this video, then you're perhaps the wrong one, and we're completely right.
Yeah.
We do, however, have separate lists. I haven't seen hers, she hasn't seen mine, so it's going to be just as much a surprise to us as it is to you.
So, we're going to start off with going through our 10 through 6. So Jarrod's going to say his 10 through 6, and then I'm going to say my 10 through 6.
And then I'll say my 5 through 1, she'll say her 5 through 1, and then the video will be over.
Yep, and then stay tuned for our top least 10 favorite.
Yes.
Top 10.
Alright, so we're going to play rock, paper, scissors to decide who goes first. Alright. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Shoot. Oh, okay. I guess Hannah's going to go first, so I'm going to leave.
Okay, so starting with number 10 on my list is Deadpool 2. That there was a few movies that were like super close to being number 10, but Deadpool 2 just kind of overruled them for a few things. It was really funny, just like the first one. I did, however, enjoy the first one a lot more than the second one, but it still made my top 10 list. So, and then coming in at number 9 was Incredibles 2. It was kind of tough putting this one this high on the list, but there were a lot more movies that came out this year that I liked a lot more. The one thing I really did like about Incredibles 2, though, was the animation. It was really spot on with a lot of things, and it was really pretty as well. Coming in at number 8 is A Quiet Place. I really like Emily Blunt and John Krasinski. He's really good at directing movies, and I really think he should continue doing more. Coming in at number 7 is Annihilation. I really liked this movie a lot there was a bunch of metaphorical things in it, and I think that was really cool, and it was kind of pretty. The things that they saw in the shimmer. Coming in at number 6 is Star is Born. Now this is the only one I've seen out of all of the remakes. I think there's like 6 other ones, and this is the only one I've seen from all of them. But I really like Lady Gaga. I think her voice is really pretty, and I think Bradley Cooper has a really good voice.
Sorry for the weird editing there. We had an unexpected camera death, but it's okay. You got Hannah's 10 through 6, which is what you needed.
Yes.
So, I guess it's my turn to do my 10 through 6, so you... Alright, starting my list off at number 10 was BlacKkKlansman. This movie was a surprise to me because the actor Adam Driver hasn't really impressed me in the past. He was pretty good as Kylo Ren in Star Wars, but other than that, he's never really impressed me. But this is by far his best role, and I know he wasn't the main character of this movie, but he was the one that stole the show for me. And also, Topher Grace gives a pretty good performance as well, in the best movie I've seen him in since That 70s Show. And I know that's not a movie, but yeah. Alright, making its way into number 9 on my list is my favorite of the year for just pure fun action. That was Mission Impossible Fallout. This one was great when it comes to the visuals and all of the intense nail-biting action sequences. Tom Cruise, man, he is still doing all of his stunts, and he's like 50-something. Like, I hope he doesn't stop anytime soon. I hope he's okay and doesn't injure himself anytime soon. He keeps giving us these intense roles, like the Mission Impossible franchise and Edge of Tomorrow. And yeah, I think this movie is actually my favorite Mission Impossible movie other than Ghost Protocol. That one's still number 1 for me, but this one's definitely my second favorite. Coming in at number 8, usually kids' movies make this list, and this kids' movie warmed my heart more than any other. That was Paddington 2. This movie made me laugh so much. I like it more than the first Paddington, which I also love. It's a just awesome, warm movie that can make you feel nostalgic, even though there's nothing from my childhood that had anything to do with Paddington. It somehow feels like it reaches into my childhood and makes me feel like a child again when I watch it, because I was just like gleefully happy the entire time I watched it, just smiling and laughing, and I want to see it again. I really do. Okay, we're at number 7 now. This one is perhaps the most unique movie I saw all year. Quiet Place. It's also on Hannah's list, I think at number 7. John Krasinski, man, this guy came direct, and like, Emily Blunt's a great actress as well, and the fact that they're married just made it all more realistic, but like, who really would have thought that being completely silent in the whole movie would make it interesting? Like, I like WALL-E, but I think this movie is better than WALL-E in the way that it uses the not talking as a way to drive the plot further. It reminded me a lot of Tremors, the best parts of Tremors, and I absolutely loved this movie, and for a while it was like in my top 3 of the year, but more movies have come out and it's fallen back on the list. Alright, yeah. Coming in at number 6, Paddington 2 may be my favorite kids movie, but Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse was my favorite animated movie. This movie was awesome. Like, I loved The Incredibles 2 this year. I thought that was a lot of fun, but this one just topped that on so many levels. I mean, it introduced all sorts of new Spider-Man, including Miles Morales, who I've wanted to see have a story told on the big screen for a while. I was also laughing throughout this. I laughed more in this than I laughed in Paddington. It was cracking me up throughout, and I don't think I've wanted a sequel as bad as this since Spider-Man 3 came out. Welcome back, Hannah!
Thanks!
So yeah, there was my 10 through 6. Oh, shit, okay, I guess I'm going now.
Coming in at number 5 was the movie Searching. Like, it deserved the 5th place on the list because it was like really good. There's a few movies that I've seen that involve film through like computers or Skyping, and this one is just the best out of all of them. Coming in at number 4 was Into the Spider-Verse. I really liked this movie. It was super cute. It's one of the few animated spider movies I've ever seen. Or, I haven't really seen any of the shows, but I hear they're very good. It was super colorful, and I liked all the different types of Spider-Men and women that are in it. Coming in at number 3 was the movie Game Night. I really liked this movie a lot. I thought all the characters had great chemistry, and each couple felt kind of relatable in some way. So I thought they really did that well. Coming in at number 2, now this was tough. This was really difficult for me because there were 2 movies where I'm just like, I like them for 2 different reasons, and it was really hard for me to decide. But coming in at number 2 was Infinity War. This movie, like, I went through every single emotion more than once. I can't wait for the new one coming out, Endgame, and it's just, there's so many things that I want answered, and I know we're going to get all the answers. Coming in at number 1, and the reason I put this is because I'm a sucker for kids movies, and I always will be, and it's Paddington 2. And I love the first one, but the second one is just so much better than the first one, and the first one is so good as well. It's so charming and so cute, and it had me laughing, and it was just super sweet, and I just like want to cuddle Paddington and be his friend, but that can't really happen. Right. Are you gonna kick me off, or are you gonna politely tell me to leave?
I'm gonna politely ask you to leave.
Oh.
Generally making my top 10 list, 10 through 6 I have a lot of fun with, and then 5 through 1 are the ones that really hit me where I live. And I mean, these movies really hit me where I live. Okay, number 5 admittedly made me cry. That was A Star is Born. This movie made me actually cry. And it wasn't even the sadness. It wasn't the ending. It was the music. The music was so beautiful in this movie. It like literally drove me to tears at times. And Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga and Sam Elliott all blew me away with their acting skills, especially Sam Elliott. He stole every scene that he was in. And Bradley Cooper did a great job impersonating him, and also did a pretty good job singing. Number 4 was Searching. This movie had me hooked from the first scene. I mean, I was feeling for this family within the first 5 minutes. They had me caring about every single character involved. I didn't know where this movie was going. Like, I had no idea what was going to happen. Like, that's one thing I can say this movie did better than any other movie that came out this year, is it just had me not predicting the ending. And there were 3 different times where I thought, this is how it's going to end. Okay, no, they went a different way, and this is how it's going to end. Oh no, they went an even different way. And by the end, I had no idea it was going to turn out that way. It actually really paid off. The whole movie was just an awesome experience, and I recommend it to anyone. Alright, my top 3 are all number 1, admittedly, in their own way. Really hard for me to pick between these 3, because there was a point in time where each one of them was number 1. I had to put them in some kind of an order. Number 3 is number 1, but number 3, I'm cheating when I put it on this list, because it's not a movie. It's The Haunting of Hill House Season 1. This fucking blew me away. It was so cool. This was like the best horror movie experience that I've seen in years. Yes, it's cheating, and I don't care. It's my top 10 list, right? You know, I loved this. I loved it so much. I put this at number 1, and I want it to be my number 1, but this is not a movie, so I feel like that is just going to disqualify it from being number 1. Alright, coming in at number 2 is Marvel's 10-year plan, Infinity War. This one was so cool. This one, like Hannah said, had all of the emotions. I was laughing, I was crying, I was sweating. I had chills, there were goosebumps. This movie had it all, it really did. And yeah, this is the only Marvel movie where I can genuinely say I have no idea where they're going to go after this. Like, I have no idea where they're going to go. And yeah, this is probably my 2nd or 3rd favorite movie in the MCU. Like, I think I like Civil War and the first Avengers a little bit more, but other than that, this is the best that we've gotten so far. I'm at number 1 now. Do you know what it is? Can you guess what it is? It's not Paddington 2.
Black Panther.
It's not Black Panther. My favorite movie of the year was Annihilation. This movie was properly titled because oh wow, this one blew me away. It was definitely the most entertaining experience I've had all year watching a movie. I was like, my brain hurt thinking about it, but then when I finally got it, it just changed my whole perspective of the entire movie. And when someone can really imply so many different themes into one movie and make them all feel cohesive and coherent, and they all go together so well, and bring together an awesome cast to create a story that I've never seen before, and create the best sci-fi movie I've literally seen in, I don't even know how long. This is one of my favorite sci-fi movies ever made, because it's just so creative and unique, and every single shot of the movie is unique in some way, shape, or form. This is one of the few movies that came out this year that I genuinely loved, and it's the one that I thought about the most, and it's the one that I'm going to remember the most about this year. Annihilation. It's number 1. But yes, after this we're going to definitely do a top 10 worst list of the year, which, to be fair, there haven't been a whole lot of movies that I saw this year that I just hated. There was no Jeepers Creepers 3 of the year.
So
there were a few though. There were a few that we saw this year that, especially the horror genre. There were a few horror movies that came out this year that are probably going to top both of us. They're just horrible. But luckily, The Haunting of Hill House saved the horror genre for me this year, at least. I think that was the most incredible horror experience I have had since Sinister in 2013.
Are we going to say our honorable mentions?
I don't have any. What were yours?
Love, Simon, that was a good one.
I like that one. I liked Game Night. Not enough to put it in my top 10, but
I like Mission Impossible, but I didn't remember enough of it to have it on my top 10s, and I felt like it doesn't need to be there.
Black Panther, for sure.
Oh yeah, that was a good one.
Black Panther was a lot of fun. Incredibles 2 was good.